Now, over the weekend, there was a story that went viral of a Arizona woman that was denied a prescription based on the moral objection of her pharmacist. Now, this was 35-year-old woman named Nicole Arteaga. Now, she was denied medication that was prescribed to her by her doctor that would terminate her 10-week-old pregnancy. Now, in case you think that this is just somebody who just wanted to go and get an abortion, no, that's not true. Actually, she had been to the doctor during her pregnancy checkup. She was getting ultrasounds, doing everything that she was supposed to do in order to help the baby grow. See, she wanted this child. However, unfortunately, the doctor had to give her heartbreaking news. It said the baby's development had stopped. There was no heartbeat. The pregnancy would end in a miscarriage. Now, Arteaga went to her local Walgreens after this doctor's visit because she had two choices. She could get medication that would help her deliver the miscarriage, or get rid of the miscarriage, or she could do a surgery that was rather invasive. So she opted for the medication. Now, when she went to go and get that medication from a Walgreens in Peoria, Arizona, she was turned away. A Walgreens pharmacist, according to her, had refused to fill that prescription. Now, she said, quote, "I don't have any control over my body and I don't have control of the situation. I was seeking help from medication that I needed and he refused. I completely lost it and was in tears." Now, this happened on Thursday. She says, "I didn't want to need those pills. This is not how I wanted my pregnancy to go, but this is my situation." She said, "I stood at the mercy of this pharmacist, explaining my situation in front of my 7-year-old and 5 customers behind, only to be denied because of his ethical beliefs." Now, this is in a Facebook post that went viral on Saturday. Now, she said that the pharmacist did not explain any further his position, just said that, "I'm sorry, I can't do it." Well, now, wait a minute. She explained her position, the fact that she has a pregnancy that has stopped, a fetus that is dead, and that she was prescribed this medication in order to end that miscarriage. So what would be the disagreement here? What would be the ethical problem? It's not like that child is alive. It's not that she was trying to end the pregnancy, which, of course, she would be absolutely within her rights to do so, and I support her rights to do so. But instead, he's like, no, I don't care what your situation is. I'm still not going to prescribe that medication. That's ridiculous. In fact, Arteaga said his mind was pretty much made up. "I tried to explain to him, I have to take this medication because it's an undeveloping fetus inside of me, and he still refused, standing there silent and looking at me." Now, look, can you imagine that? Losing the baby that you wanted to have. She wanted that child, and she has had miscarriages before. So she has a problem being able to get pregnant and give birth. Now, she has a son already, but she wanted another child. Unfortunately, that did not work out for her. And for this guy to sit there in judgment of you and refuse to give you medication that you were prescribed, it's got to be just horrific. Not only embarrassing, but just horrible. Look, you think he's being pro-life. He's not. That child's already gone. There is no life there to protect. You're not saving anybody. So what are you doing sitting in judgment of a person who is already in pain and mourning? No, you're making it worse for no reason. And look, having a fetus that is undeveloped inside of your body, that is dead, can pose a health risk as well. It just doesn't make any sense. Again, you're not taking a moral stand against abortion because it's not an abortion. What do you expect her to just have it naturally? There are some conservatives out there that argue, no, you should carry your miscarriage, your dead fetus to term. Why? What's the point? There is no point. But again, it's all about some people's morality. Look, now, she did end up getting the medication later. That pharmacist did send that prescription to another Walgreens, but it didn't happen until around Saturday. Now, she was able to pick it up with no issues at the other location. Now, Walgreens said in a statement on Saturday that pharmacists are allowed to step away from filling a prescription anytime they have a moral objection under company policy. So, unfortunately, this is a policy that Walgreens supports. And this is, unfortunately, also something that people are able to do, thanks to the Hobby Lobby decision. So, they're able to use their own quote-unquote moral judgment in order to whether or not to decide whether they can give you a prescription or not. So now, basically, you're allowed to, if you have a strongly held religious belief, not give someone medication. I think that's disastrous, and it's ridiculous. Now, under that policy, employees are required to refer the prescription to another pharmacist or manager to ensure the needs of the patient are met in what they call a timely manner. Well, Thursday, Saturday. She went to go pick it up on Thursday. They didn't fill it until Saturday. That doesn't sound timely to me. Now, here's the thing, right? Now, it could have gone sooner. But what happened, and this is the most frustrating part for Arteaga, is that there were other employees there. There were people at the drive-through window. There were other pharmacists there that were working. So she's like, okay, I understand that you have an objection to this. I don't know why, but can you get one of these other people to go and help me then and get me the medication? No. That was his answer. No, I'm not going to let other people around me do the same thing. You can go somewhere else and get that medication, but you're not getting it from me while I'm here. You can come back to this location later after I'm gone. Well, now wait a minute, though. You are actually, I don't like the Walgreens policy to begin with, but he was also being worse than the Walgreens policy, because that policy said, well, okay, look, if you're uncomfortable, you can step away and get somebody else to do it. He wouldn't even do that. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I'm going to stare at you blankly and I'm going to judge you. That's shit. Now, Walgreens, of course, is looking into the situation, and a representative said that somebody reached out to Arteaga to apologize for how the situation was handled. However, Arteaga says, no, they didn't. They didn't reach out. They didn't do anything. In fact, she only spoke to somebody from the company when she called to complain to the manager of the Peoria store. Now, the manager did not even offer an apology at the time. So, I mean, look, you got a company that's like, we have a policy that says that you can't get this medication if our pharmacists don't feel comfortable giving you that medication. Well, that happened, but he also said, you can't get it from anyone working around me at all. She complained about it, and nobody took her complaint seriously until she made a viral Facebook post. Now, number one, this shows how important social media is in order to highlight these stories. We wouldn't be talking about that if she didn't share her story. And the reason she shared her story is, I just wanted support. I just wanted to know that there are people out there that have went through the same thing. And like I said, number two, it just shows how disastrous these policies are that allow you to take a so-called moral stance. No, just do your job. I'm tired of hearing about people who won't prescribe certain medications or or birth control, or won't bake cakes for people, for certain people. Or I'm tired of it. No, if you're doing that job, do your job, or don't do that job. If you're in a situation, look, conservatives always talk about free market, right? Oh, you just find another job if you're uncomfortable with doing your job, except in this situation, this situation, and this situation. No, do your job. Your job is to dispense medications that are prescribed to people. So do your job. It's not a hard concept. She was treating incredibly unfairly by both the company and the pharmacist themselves. I don't know if he's going to get fired for that, because he did break his own company's policy. So in that case, yes, I hope, because he did block her from other employees being able to service her at that time. Other than that, I think she does deserve, and she did get an apology from Walgreens, and I hope she gets some sort of, peace out of the situation. Look, she's already lost a child, and now having to go through this embarrassment. She deserves some sort of recompense for that. So I think that, look, I don't like these policies. I think that they shouldn't have these policies. I don't like the Hobby Lobby decision. I don't like any of that stuff. I think we should get out of other people's lives and what they do with their medication. You have your own personal beliefs. That's fine. You can have them. But that shouldn't extend into your job, if your job is to service other people. So that's just my thoughts on that. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.